welcome back. And now what we want to do is enter numbers in scientific notation on your calculator. And so in order to do this, you're going to look for a button that says EE. Now on some calculators it might be the caret button, and then on other calculators it might be the 10 to the X button is the one that is going to do it for you. So you need to look on your calculator to see which button should you use in order to enter numbers in scientific notation on your calculator. So for example, here is a number in scientific notation, 2 times 10 to the 8th power. And what we want to do is enter that number on our calculator. So on our calculator over here, we're going to enter the number 2, and then we're going to press the EE button, which is right here on this calculator, and then I'm going to press the number 8, and there it is. So on the display it's saying 2 and then a 0 and then an 8. So that is the same thing as this. Now if you got a fancier calculator, it might actually put in the times 10 thing on the display, but the TI-30XA doesn't do that for you. So it's just going to look like this, but this is the same thing as that. Okay, so who cares? So now we can enter a number in scientific notation on our calculator, but why would we want to do that? Well, here is an example. We're going to take 2 times 10 to the 8th and then multiply it by 50.1 times 10 to the 20th, and then we need to know what is that. So 2 times 10 to the 8th multiplied by 50.1 times 10 to the negative 20th power. And now in a previous video I showed you that you don't necessarily have to be able to enter these numbers in scientific notation on your calculator, because we found out that, now I'm just going to do an approximation of the answer so that we can compare it to the real answer that the calculator is going to give us. So notice that 50.1 is close to what number? 50. So that if I was to take these two numbers and multiply them together, I would get 100. Okay, and then what do if I multiply exponentials, what do I need to do with the exponent? I need to add them together. So 8 plus negative 20 is going to be negative 12. So this is times 10 to the negative 12th power. And then if I take this decimal point, which is right here, and then I move it over to there, then that's 2 zeros. So this is the same thing as 1 times 10 to the negative 10th power. Okay, so that's the answer that I'm going to be hoping I'm going to get whenever I actually use the calculator. So how am I going to do this? So let's go back to the calculator here, and I'll go ahead and clear it again. And so our first number is 2 times 10 to the 8th. So 2 and then 8. Okay, now what do I need to do? Multiply. So then my next step is to hit the multiplication button. And then what am I going to multiply by? 50.1. So 50.1. Then press the EE button. And now we need a 20 there. So let's hit 20. And that's what I'm going to do, right? No. What do I need? I need 50.1 times 10 to the negative 20th. So do you remember how to flip it? Okay, so we're going to hit this button down here, and now that's going to change it to 50.1 times 10 to the negative 20th, and then press the equals button. And so I get 1.002 times 10 to the negative 10th power. And when we did our approximation, it was 1 times 10 to the negative 10th power. So that's telling us that we did the problem correct. And so we can add, subtract, multiply, divide, raise to a power, take roots of any number that is in scientific notation now by using this calculator. So it's a pretty good thing to be able to do. All right, so let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about how to raise numbers to a power with your calculator.